absolutely acting can feel like, especially at this stage, it can feel like a bit of an abusive relationship that you're
Uh,
hoping it's gonna work out in the end. So it's like that's okay, that's okay. We'll talk it through. We'll reach
well,
some
I'd
common
say
ground.
more like, yeah, more like a turbulent relationship that just like really runs hot and cold. Like you fight like
Can be,
crazy,
yeah.
but the sex is great. You know?
Okay, yeah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Uh, yeah, no, it's I am curious about a number of things that you just mentioned, but yeah, the I can definitely relate to that. Having days when you're like, oh, what's going on? But luckily, I don't know, I've heard it enough that this is what it's like, and this is what it's not that it's supposed to be like, but most cases it's like this, especially the first few years, like first 5 years maybe.
Mhm.
It's
It's
very
a
much.
test.
Yeah, it is. Like, and you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
learn a lot, and you have to learn, people management and expectation management and taking
Oh,
no for an answer on a regular.
honestly, Silas, I'm glad you said that because that whole thing about managing expectations, but like the element of kind of like taking no for an answer. I'd develop on that further because I'd say, regardless of talent, you want to truly make it in this industry, it goes beyond just learning how to hear no, how to deal with rejection. You need to deal with having your hopes raised. It's not just about learning how to hear no, it's about learning how to hear the yeses that turn into no's, the no's that turn into yeses and then turn back into no's and flip flop back and forth. Because, acing the audition doesn't automatically mean you're set for life. The casting director could like you, but then suddenly, the producer or director can clash with their choice and make them choose someone else. Or you get past them, but hey, you get fired after a screen test or a table read. It can happen. Or hey, the movie, the TV show does get made, or the movie does get made, but then suddenly, as you'll have seen with the Batwoman movie that was meant to come out, it gets shelved for like almost a completely inexplicable reason. Or beyond that, the show does come out, the movie does come out, but it gets cancelled or it
Or
tanks the box office. You
or
know?
if, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking as you were saying this, like you create this fantastic show that's amazing, but you for some reason you come out the same few weeks that House of Dragon comes out, and
Mhm.
guess what? No one's watching your pilot because everyone's watching House of Dragon.
Exactly, exactly. And honestly, like it happens with even big stars to this day, like
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe. I mean, he had a sitcom that got cancelled literally the day it was meant to premiere. I brought up already what happened with the Batwoman movie,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Clint Eastwood, friggin' icon of Hollywood cinema across all eras, in time and space, just had a project rejected from Warner Brothers. You know what I mean? Like again, like it's not entirely certain, and yet if you love this industry and you love this craft despite the temperament, how both exceedingly cruel and kind it can be, that is how you know you're ready to be an actor, producer, writer, or whatever. That's how you know you belong here. It
So in
really
that
comes from,
case,
yeah.
that immediately brings up the question, my friend, how did you figure out to deal with that? How did you make your peace with that?
Honestly, Silas,
Have you made your peace with it? I mean,
oh no, I would say I have. I honestly have. And for me, Silas, like how I came to peace with it was like, well, a certain person and his story, and that would be Kevin Hart, one of my favorite stand-up comedians. And if you or anyone who's watching this interview hasn't done so already, please check out his audiobook, I Can't Make This Up. It is, I don't know, whatever you're going through in life, whatever you're striving towards in life, it is honestly like a tale of strength that will embolden you to it once more. Because Kevin Hart, as much of an icon as he is of of film and like of the kind of like comedy world, he was actually someone who was meant to have kind of like blown up much, much like longer ago. Like, he'd started his stand-up career in the late 90s. For the first 5 years, he went through the grind that like any stand-up comedian does, performing for like, driving 2 hours for like $20 gigs at like some college in
twenty
another state.
dollars. Oh, if you get paid, you're lucky, my friend.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Getting screwed over by promoters. At one point he performed at a strip club, which doubled at a comedy club, where like he would have to deal with being heckled by like legit like gang members and thugs. And after those 5 years, finally lands a pilot, finally lands a lead role in a movie, gets his own sitcom. He's like 24, 25, like my age by then. He figured he had it made, and then boom, suddenly his pilot gets cancelled. His movie, oh, sorry, I accidentally flipped my his movie bombs at the box office, like to the point of breaking film history because like it got bootlegged so much. And his sitcom, this was really weird. It got shelved at the last minute, and then aired, and then got cancelled after one season. Now, my God, like I remember, like each time I listen to that, just like I think like how the hell this guy was standing, because like that kind of humiliation alone, having your hopes
That's
dashed on that kind of a level, like that would bring most people to suicide, let alone like retirement. And yet, what did
that's
Kevin Hart do?
that's a
He
strong
like
combo. That's a
exactly, yeah, like, and what did he do? He persevered anyway. He went back, did what worked for him at the beginning, but just on like a whole other level, just like harder and stronger than ever. And then, well, he just came back stronger than ever, and he's freaking unstoppable. And it's like, man, if you can survive something like that, I mean, rather better yet, if he can survive something like that, I can. And I take great how do you say reprise in that, like reassurance in that, because I saw what happened when he survived it, and it just means like
yeah.
I'm gonna get to an even better place, and that freaking excites me.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough.
Like, because I'll tell you, Silas, I had actually two recent instances of, I mean, not on something like not on par with what Kevin Hart went through, but rather like something of that whole thing where I had a yes that turned into a no. So I'll keeping like certain details anonymous.
Of course, there's NDAs and such.
Yeah, yeah, like just recently, I booked a role in like a student film. I really vibed with the producer and the director instantly. It like had instant chemistry with my co-stars. Like I was pretty much perfect for the role, but unfortunately, they had like a rather kind of like set pair of dates for the shoot, and one of them, which they could not change, clashed with my current day job. So I had to pull out of the project. On the other side of that, I had a paid job that I'd been on, through my agent for months. But with the company, there'd been an issue with their payroll system. And, they were saying that, they wouldn't be able to pay us till like January, maybe even next November.
Hmm.
So, we had to pull out of that until they could pay us. I mean, this one has a happier ending because they've paid us some of the money so far, but they've still to catch up. But again, like, it just barely phased me really, because it's that whole thing. Like, again, I would have felt much shittier if I didn't get a chance to audition for or try out for these roles altogether. I didn't lose to myself in the sense. I was rather sorry. I'm getting muddled here. Basically, again, I heard a yes that turned into a no, and that no didn't hit me. I was unfazed by it as much as just hearing a straight no. Rather, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're very correct that yeah, you have to prepare yourself mentally for dealing with this kind of stuff, but it's almost, it teaches you very much how to appreciate even the, the half wins. Like, I
Yes.
didn't get the second part, but I was brought back for an audition. Or,
Yeah, yeah, like a
things like
recall.
that. I got this far. I didn't get to the very end, but I got this far. And, you learn how to almost, break down and sort of salvage
Mhm.
whatever the loss was. You break it down and find the smallest victories, and you focus on those because they count. They really do count.
Exactly. Exactly. Like really, what you saw is just kind of like a start and a stop. Well, that was just a temporary stop on the way to, like, your true destination, that next big break.